What's good and what's mobbing, man? Look, let's get into this, man. I got a good one this morning, man. July 26th devotion. John 16:33. I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart. I have overcome the world. I want to talk about disappointments, man. If you can think right now of like one of the greatest moments you had that you can remember. Now think of that. Take time, think of it. Even press pause if you want. And then I want you to think of one of the most disappointing times that you had. Take some time, press pause again, and think about it. Now, I don't want you to share it. I'm going to share something that I went through. A disappointing moment for me was I was in prison, and it was around 2014-ish. I was preparing for board, and I really thought I did everything that I had to do. And this might be a long one today, so just stay with me, man. But I really thought I did everything that I could do. I had prepared myself. I had, a job lined up. I had housing. I had a gang of certificates, laudatory chronos, being clean, been out the way, etc., etc. And so when I went to the board, I really I thought, if you guys know my story, there was a time when I never thought I'd get out of prison, period. Then there was a time where I thought I might. And then at this point, I was in a stage where, my eyes were outside of the prison. My thoughts were outside of the prison. I really thought I did everything I needed to do to prepare to come home. And when I went inside there, they denied me. They denied me for 3 years. I remember coming back and walking back to the yard, and, there were dudes lined up at the fence as I was approaching the yard, and there was dudes that was really hoping to see me come back with a smile on my face and tell them I was going home. These were the same guys that I grinded with and ran fake board hearings with them on the yard. Like, we practiced this. We were edifying and building each other up in terms of board preparation to come home. So we really thought, not just me, we really thought, my family thought, my mom thought I was coming home, and they denied it, man. And so when I came back, some of the dudes saw my face and they just spun off from the fence and walked away. Others were like, man, keep your head up, bro. Woo, woo, woo. All that good stuff, man. And I appreciate it. I needed that. Because I remember specifically thinking, if I'm honest, that I'm about to go get blowed. I'm about to go get drunk. And if somebody say something stupid, I'm going to tear their face off. And I lost heart. This verse says, I told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world. And if we look even deeper to 2 Corinthians 4:16-18, therefore we do not lose heart. Though outwardly we are wasting away, yet inwardly we are being renewed day by day. For the light of our momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all. So we fix our eyes on not what is seen, but on what is unseen. For what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. And I remember, I prayed for a woman, and God gave me my wife, Momo, for those of you that know her. But she always poured into me. She always talked about God. She always prayed with me. She always saw something in a different perspective than what I saw it. So when I came back to the housing unit, man, I'm like, hey, man, let me use the phone, man. I got to call my family. And dude let me get on the phone, and I called her, and, she had been waiting for the call. I mean, we really thought I was going home. And so, when I called, she's like, what happened? What happened? I'm like, man, they denied me 3 years. And if she would have said anything else but what she said in that moment, you guys want to be watching this video. I know I would have went down the wrong road. I assume I would have came back. I assume I would have eventually corrected the errors of my ways. But me in that moment where I was heading, I wouldn't be here today. I really don't believe that. But when I told her 3 years, she said, okay, 3 years, we can do that. And when she said that, it changed my perspective. You feel what I'm saying? But that was one of the most disappointing, I've had many, and most of them my fault, and some of them caused by others. But that was one of the most disappointing moments in my life, because so many people were invested in me in that moment, including myself. And I was denied 3 years. Little did I know, 18 months later, I would be back in front of the board and they would let me come home after 25 years. But with that said, man, disappointment will come. And that's what this verse is about, man, that we have to be able to find peace. Now, I've been through other situations of great disappointment. Losing my mother was one of them. And there was been other things. And going down that road that I was speaking of before, where I was just throwing everything to the wind because all I could see is what I can see. I couldn't see the unseen, the eternal ramifications of my situation. Despite my disappointment, I would have thrown it all away. But today I can look at it differently, man. And so, when we think about disappointment, man, picture this, man. Stay with me. I know this is probably going to be a long one today, but when we think about disappointment, we can go to Matthew, what is it? Forgive me. Matthew 26, 36 through 46. Now picture, man, Jesus in his perfection. Let's put it in a way that we understand, man. Say we all boys and we done been through everything together, man. We done stomped through the mud. We done, you name it, we did it. We've been close, closer than close, man. And that's what Jesus was with his disciples, man. They had marched through deserts, man. It wasn't, people show a pretty picture of Jesus, man. But, whenever I see Jesus in my head, and I've said this before, man, I see calloused feet. I see dusted skin because sweat and the dust of the terrain that they were in at that time sticking to his skin. I see matted hair. I see bronze, skin that's been through something, man. Not this pretty picture of this clean-faced dude, I don't see him like that. And he was pursued by many, and he was hated by more. And, they had been through so much together. And at this moment, he knows that his time is closing in, and he's in the Garden of Gethsemane, and he asks his boys who witnessed his miracles, who sat by him and broke bread with him and was given teachings and parables and just lived it out with him. And in this moment, in his moment, man. And remember, Jesus felt what we felt. So when we talk about our disappointments, remember that he felt anger, he felt pain, he felt all the things that we felt. He felt love, he felt pain so much that he cried, and when he did, blood came out of his eyes. So imagine his ability in a perfect body, what disappointment must feel like. And in this moment, when he know that his time is at hand, he said, "Hey, bro, I just need you to watch and pray, bro. You got me?" And he went away, and when he came back, they were sleeping. And not only once, not only twice, but 3 times. Imagine that. And he was perfect, man. And from there, we know the story. He was led off to a death. And think of the disappointment of a world that would create a whip with bones on the end of it, that they would measure it so well that they knew that 40 lashes would kill you, and they would beat him 39 times, one short of what would presumably kill him, and then slap a cross on him and thorns on his head and etc. and string him up on a cross. And he's innocent, man. Let's talk about disappointment. But he did that so that we may live, that the law could be fulfilled. You know what I'm saying? So when we backtrack and we really talk about our disappointments in life, man, it really has to do with our perspective on it, man. When my perspective changed on certain things, disappointment is disappointment. Like, you're going to be disappointed. Things are going to happen. People are going to do stuff to you. You're going to lose people that love you. Things are going to happen, bro, sis. You know what I'm saying? Things are going to pop off the way that you don't want them to. And people are going to do things that you don't like. But he's telling us here, I've told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble. Ain't nothing going to be without trouble. We're going to struggle, man. But I want to remind you that we take heart in these things because he has overcame. We need to look towards the things that are eternal in these moments instead of really just looking at what happened to us. If we go to Corinthians, it's talking about Therefore do not lose heart. Though outwardly we are wasting away, yet inwardly we are being renewed day by day. And we have to remember that, man. We have to remember that, bro. It's like, it's a decision. Because I can guarantee you right now that somebody watching this is going to experience extreme disappointment in the next day or two. And another one of you is going to take a year. And another one of you might wake up and it might happen tomorrow. But what is your perspective going to be? Is it going to be just what happened to you in front of you? Or is it going to be that, okay, this happened, but I'm looking beyond what I can see right here. And I'm looking forward into something deeper. And I'm going to have peace in this moment because I have the peace that God gave me in knowing that I have overcome this world through Jesus Christ, man. And it's hard to understand. It's hard to grasp. It's hard to live by. You know what I'm saying? But even Jesus went through trouble. Even Jesus faced temptation. Even Jesus felt betrayal. But he felt all this for a reason. And he withstood it for a greater reason. And so, like, I just want to encourage you, man. Like, life is tough, man. It's hard, man. And I shared this with my, the Hit Squad youth group tonight or last night. And the thing is that we have to become strong enough to know that in these moments of disappointment or even trial, it can come in a whole bunch of different ways, but it's only through handling these situations in the way that's prescribed, in the way that he told us in John 16:33 and 2 Corinthians 4:16-8, that if we can handle them in a mature Christ-like manner, that even through the hardships and the trouble, there's promotion, and there's promotion in this world, and there's promotion in our afterlife, man. And we have to understand that that's what we're fighting for, man. And how can God move us forward if we're still handling, the disappointments that we're told that are going to come, the trouble that we're told is going to come, that they hated him first. Of course, they're going to hate us. If we know that these things are coming, then and we don't handle it correctly, how can we expect any type of promotion here or hereafter? You know what I'm saying? So I just really wanted to share that with you, man. It was something that we had a deep conversation about last night. And the boys went in deep, man. And it was really cool, man. And it was, every time I speak it, I'm speaking to myself, man. Like, I'm learning these things too. And if I'm not learning it, I'm reinforcing it. You know what I mean? And so it was really big thing to see. When I want to share this too, when people approach you, when people let you down, when people disappoint you, there was a time in prison where I realized, okay, if I got up and I did everything that I'm supposed to do, I woke up and I prayed and I cleaned up and I brushed my teeth and I made a shot of coffee and I did my Bible study. I hollered at my cellie, maybe hollered through the vent at my neighbor or whatever. And then I step out and the first person that sees me is, I know the problem ain't me. I know that the problem ain't me. And this dude could be somebody I know, and it's a disappointment. But now it comes down to perspective again. So if I know I'm walking right and I know my world is good, there's no need for me to snap and return the energy that he's given me, return it to him. Because I'm knowing that in this moment, he's the broken one. And so in my perspective, when I'm able to change and really see okay, hold on, no need for me to snap. There's obviously something wrong in this guy's world. You get what I'm saying? So I was able to overcome a lot of things. And because I overcame that, I was given promotions that God placed, where he kept me out of harm's way, where I was able to navigate through treacherous waters, and I was able to have that peace that he's talking about in this verse. So that's a way that I wanted to just share with you, that this verse is applicable, man, that it has real life use and real life quality in it, man. So with that, real life value. So with that said, man, I know I went long-winded, man, but I say that because there's some real jewels in this verse right here, in the second verse in 2 Corinthians and even the demonstration of how Jesus was let down and definitely disappointed, man. It's gonna happen, but that shouldn't define us, man. We have to know what the Bible tells us is true, and if we can stick to the truths and the precepts in the Bible, that the struggles that we face in this world, although they touch us emotionally and you know it hurts, the picture is bigger than what's in front of us. So I hope that we can remember that, man. God bless y'all, man. I'll try to keep the next one down to like 5 minutes, man. But I love y'all, bless y'all, and I hope you receive something beautiful from this, man. Really consider it, man. Disappointments will come, but our peace is in Christ. Take heart because he has overcome this world, man. God bless y'all. Marlon.